Hey everybody, welcome back. Today I want to teach you how to do a banner. I was actually creating this page for a course and I needed to put this banner, this heads up banner on top of the content. And then I thought, this would be a great thing for me to share out to people. And so today I want to talk about the various aspects, how I built this, how I get the colors, the curved corners, the different color schemes, and how I can make it look like this. And it is responsive, so it changes, for large screens versus smaller screens, it's going to look different. And so I just want to pull back the curtain and teach you how I built this. So let's get started. Okay, so here's how I'm going to teach this. On the left, I have an HTML editor, so I'm editing the page. On the right, I have just the page, as it is published. And I'm going to walk through the various elements. So all of this highlighted, this is the heads up display, the notice banner that I have. There's more content on the page, a lot more HTML. I'm just going to focus on this part up here. So let's walk through how I created this. So this is all part of a div, and I've created entire videos on divs and why they're awesome. But a div itself is essentially a block container, and this is all a div. Everything you see right here is the div. And it doesn't have any semantic meaning on its own. It's really just a group, and it's a way that you can stylize content within a particular group. And in this case, the group is the text and the elements, around this text. And so that's the div right here. I start with a div, and this is the starting div, and then I close it out right here. I want to hop down and talk about the role and the aria-bale that I have here. And this is for accessibility purposes. So I put the role as note, and this is an aria role that signals to the assistive technologies like the screen readers out there that this box is a note, that it's important supplementary material for the web page. In this case, it's the Canvas page. And so it's just a way that I can improve accessibility, and this aria-bale is also the same thing. It provides a human readable label for those screen readers out there. And so if somebody's using assistive technology and encounters this box, this div, then it's going to announce it as course disclaimer. I could even put course AI disclaimer. I should probably change it to that. It doesn't really matter, but that's just to help our students who need some accommodations with assistive technologies like screen readers and such. So now hopping over here, I have the div, and then I have a margin, and you can see 0, 0, 16 pixels, 0. And so what I'm saying is I want a little bit of space around the box. And I read this as north, east, south, and west. And so north is 0 pixels. Above the box, it would be 0. To the right is 0. Below the box, I have 16 pixels. So this little HR, this horizontal rule, I want a little bit of space. So I'm kind of pushing that down and saying, hey, give me some breathing room. And then on the left is also 0. So north, east, south, west. I'm saying at the south border, I want a little bit of space below that border. And padding is a very similar concept, and we've talked about that in other videos as too. Padding is the amount of space that's inside the border and the text. And you'll notice I have 4 numbers for the margin and only 2 for the padding. And since there's 2, then this first number equals that's the vertical, so the north and the south, so the border from the north, the top border in between that and the words, and then the south and the words is the same, that's 12 pixels, and then 16 would be east-west. And so if I were to write it like I did the margin, I would write 12, 16, 12, and 16, but since the left and the right and the top and the bottom are in pairs, the equal number, then I can just write it in 2 numbers. And if I highlight the text here, then you can kind of see that illustrated. The amount of space between the top of this highlight and that top border, for example, that's 12 pixels. Same below. And then left and right, it's a little more than 12 pixels. You can see that's 16 pixels. On the right, it's not always as obvious, but on the left, it really evens up. And if I had no padding, then all of these words would go right up against the border, and that would look pretty awkward. And so that's my margin and my padding. And then the background is the color. So this hex number is the color. And I chose something like canary because it looks like a post-it note. And it just, it's a very light yellow, and that just has a note feeling or like a highlighted area feeling. And it's also very different than the rest of my page. And so that's why I chose that background color. And then the color is the text color. And I chose something that is, it's a dark gray. It's not pure black. And I really think that that helps soften it for the eyes. I tend to eschew just pure black. I like things being dark gray instead. So the next element that I have is the border. And there's different ways that you can write the border, but I like this shortened way. And that way you can specify the thickness of the border, what type of border it is, and then the color of the border. And so I'm choosing a 1 pixel solid border. It's just a solid line as opposed to a dash line or something dotted or some kind of fun combination. I just have a single orange line going around, and then this is the color of that line. Now this border property, it goes all the way around, top, right, bottom, left, but then I have this other property that is border left, and that overrides the left part of the border. And in that case, I put 6 pixels instead of 1 pixel. It's still a solid line, but the border color is a slightly darker orange. And this creates kind of that call out. It's like a flag, it just kind of draws your attention, and it kind of puts everything together. This one's pretty self-explanatory. The font size is 16 pixels, and then the line height is 1.5. And what 1.5 means is that it's 1.5 times the font size, the space in between the lines, and that just makes it a little bit more readable. And then this last part of the div up here is the border radius, and that is what is giving me those curves right there in the corner, the rounded corners, so it's not a straight edge. And you can see that I use that a lot on this page. This image has a border radius. This element here, each one of these divs down below, I have a lot of border radiuses. The background, you can see, I don't know if you can make it out because it's very subtle. It's just decorative, but I have a background color for the actual content of the page, and that's straight. That comes to a straight edge with no border radius. Now, if I were to choose something like 50 pixels, then this would be a much more, it would be more pronounced. This would be more like a pill shape as opposed to a rectangle with slightly rounded corners. And you can also use that for percentages, and I tend to not use percentages. I like to just define it by pixels because the different sizes of screens might portray it differently, and a percentage of a mobile device screen like this might turn out to be like a circle, and I want it to be more of a rectangle. All right, so that's all of the elements within this div, and then I write a paragraph over here, and the paragraph is the content, all of this text that we have, and I put style margin of 0, and the reason I did that is so that the paragraph, like the web browser, wouldn't add any space, like vertical spacing around that. I just want some tight control over the spacing since this is a stylized box, and that's not always required. But if you're going to do something styled like a banner, then setting the margin to 0 just really helps to prevent any extra gaps, because you don't always know what kind of browser your students are going to be viewing the content on. And so I like to have control over that. Now I have the strong element, that's a bold, and it's more important than just bolding the text and making it darker, because that helps the screen readers announce that there's some emphasis. And by default, the strong does, it formats, it renders as bold in terms of the styling, but part of it is styling and part of it is the accessibility for people using technology, like assistive technology. Then that's a really important thing to do. And you'll notice that I styled the bold right there, and I put the display as inline block. Now normally the bold tag is something called inline, and I changed it to inline dash block, and that allows me to apply box-like properties like margins, paddings, height, and width. And without that, the margins might still work, but using the inline block, it ensures that there's consistent spacing despite whatever different browsers they might be using. And the reason I want that is because of this next element. I have margin right is 6 pixels. And you can actually see that as I highlight the text, you can see those 6 pixels in between the highlights right there. And so inline block affects this little bit right here, this heads up, and then the margin right is that little gap over there. And the rest of it is just a paragraph. It's just this text right here. So when you put all of those elements together, all of this div, then it creates just the right amount of spacing and gaps and all of the settings, the colors, so that It's just a really effective element that stands out and breathes before they get to the content. It can capture their attention without being too gaudy, and it's obviously not something that I use all the time, but it's something I created for this course and probably something that I'm going to keep in my, portfolio of interesting little things that I do in Canvas. And occasionally it can just be a good element just to garner their attention. And like I said, stand out and breathe before they get to the rest of the main content. Now, if you're interested in how I created the rest of this page content, then in the coming weeks, I'll work on creating more videos because I think that, these are some fun little designs and a little bit flashy, a little more flashy than I do for most of my pages. This is just kind of a one-off page, and I usually don't make it this distracting, but I think there's some fun things that I've been tinkering with, and so I'll create some more videos and show you how I did some of these other, interactions and engagements. So thanks for being with me again, and until next time.
Happy digging and running.